कहे तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं।
Hello, hello.
Good evening. So we had Chandrayaan, and now we have another surprise for you. So we're going to get higher, 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 and then we can all fly home. So tonight we have a special guest. She sang at our 10th anniversary retreat in San Jose. She was so good. She sang Hindi songs, opera songs, all kinds of songs, and we decided we'll bring her back for a special song tonight. So please welcome Priyanka.
Hi, everyone. My name is Priyanka Pandey. For those of you who don't know me, I love to sing. I've been singing for as long as I can remember. I started training in Hindustani classical since I was 6 years old, and I picked up opera when we moved to Palo Alto. I'm currently on a gap year to work on my music and my album. I will be singing, I'll be singing a classic today for you, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much, dear MR, Sanjeev, and Shobha. ठहर जाओ दिल ये संभल जाए कैसे तुम्हें रोका करूं मेरी तरफ आता हर गम फिसल जाए आँखों में तुमको भरूं दिन बोले बातें तुमसे करूं अगर तुम साथ हो अगर तुम साथ हो बहती बहती नहर नदियाँ से तेरी दुनिया में मेरी दुनिया है तेरी चाहतों में मैं ढल जाती हूँ तेरी आदतों में अगर तुम साथ हो तेरी नजरों में है तेरे सपनों में है नाराज़ी मुझे लगता है कि बातें दिल की होती लफ्ज़ों की धोखेबाजी तुम साथ हो या न हो क्या फर्क है बेदर्द थी जिंदगी बेदर्द है अगर तुम साथ हो जाए बैठी बैठी भागी फिरूं मेरी तरफ आता हर गम फिसल जाए आँखों में तुमको भरूं बिन बोले बातें तुमसे करूं अगर तुम साथ हो अगर तुम साथ हो तेरी नजरों में है तेरे सपनों में है नाराजी मुझे लगता है कि बातें दिल की होती लफ्जों की धोखेबाजी तुम साथ हो या न हो क्या फर्क है बेदर्द थी जिंदगी बेदर्द है अगर तुम साथ हो अगर तुम साथ हो हर गम फिसल जाए तुम साथ हो दिन ये निकल जाए अगर तुम साथ हो हर गम फिसल जाए Thank you.
Wow. How was that version, guys? We have to ask AR how he liked that version. But, you know, this whole evening started with visiting with AR last week when I was at his home and studio where he showed his creative genius. He's working on so many projects, incredible things that he's doing. But one thing that caught my attention was his vision, his cultural vision for India. And that's what resulted in him coming out here. I mean, what can be said of A.R. Rahman, right? Tens of millions of album downloads, hundreds of movies, Oscar-winning songs, and so on and so forth. But really what stood out was, what does he want to do for India as it marches to 100? What is the vision? What's the culture like? How do people, you know, approach it? How do they assimilate it? How does these things happen in a modern, yet paying attention to the traditions and so forth? So that's what resulted in us, you know, having AR come here, and he was so grateful, and we are so grateful that he's here. But, you know, that's the power of the diaspora. Really, it's the power of the network. It's all these things coming in together in one fell swoop, right? So what we want to hear from AR is, what is his vision? What is he thinking? Maybe take some few questions, and then we'll go from there. So without further ado, AR Rahman, folks. And I forgot, my bad. Also, his son Amin, who's an incredible singer in his own right. We'll have both of them up here.
Thank you, Amar. I'm very inspired to see this whole lot here. My question to myself was, 15 years back, I was using an orchestra from my father's generation, and I said, that's the well which he dug, and people in that generation dug, and I'm using that water, and what have I done? And then we started the KM Conservatory, KM Music Conservatory, where we teach Western classical, Indian classical, Sufi music, all the stuff back in Chennai. And these kids have won prizes all over the world. You might have seen Lydian, who won $1 million and all the stuff. And then the question happened, where will these kids go after they study this amazing music and they excel in the stuff? And the question of there needs to be a platform, and I worked with, had the honor of working with Andrew Lloyd Webber And Andrew Lloyd Webber said something which I didn't understand 23 years back. He said, you got to take the mantle of theater, and you are worthy of doing that. I said, why is this man saying this? I'm a film composer. And then I think the full circle happened when, after the Oscars and all the stuff happened, I was thinking, what do you think, or what comes to your mind when you think of India, at least 10 years back, is the Taj Mahal and temples and all the stuff. What has this generation done for the future to take away, or for the world to see as a modern wonder? I think nothing. Nothing which comes of the scale and style which we should be proud of, unfortunately. So there are no monuments which the world can look up to. There's no world-class theater here. And then the question is, who's going to do it? And I was looking for everyone to do it, and nobody did it. So what happened was, after that is, collectively, the came Conservatory and what we've done in music for 15 years. And the younger generation, like Amin, who is going to help me take this forward, has already got me a chartered flight to come here all the way. So he's easing my whole travel and my struggle, and I'm proud of him. And my daughter, Khadija and Rahima, both of them. So you're going to see something which is just all about me, how great I am. Sorry, that's how it looks. I'm sorry about that. But look at that, and I'm going to take some questions.
The Oscar goes to
Golden Globe goes to
AR Rahman.
So I know that the Nita Ambani Art Center has come in to Bombay very recently, and this is an idea which has been for the past 15 years. We've been thinking about it, and it's come to a stage where it's almost, realizing the dream for me. And so I want to throw it all to you. And MR has been, he knows the full thing. I'm not revealing much, but he knows what I'm trying to say now, and you can continue if you want.
Absolutely. So imagine what you saw here represents both the past and the future. How do you meld all this together? Music, dance, plays, all of it seamlessly coming together for an audience.
Tourism, jobs.
Tourism, jobs, history, legacy. And you know, the thing with Chennai, I mean, the nice thing is we're both from Chennai, so there's a connection there. But it's known for its arts and culture. They have the music festival in December, which draws tens of thousands of people every year. And all the artists come to Chennai, right? So this is a natural extension of the heritage and culture of Chennai. We imagine this. What if you had a place where you could see dancing, Bharatanatyam dancing, you could see a musical.
Lion King.
Exactly, Lion King. And then you could see a play, all in one place, all accessible to public, right? It's not only for rich
Using local talent. And so, because we've been building that for the past 15 years, and such amazing talent, which I feel like deserve a place.
And I mean, the thing is that there's so much local talent that AR has built with his academy, with other artists, and even as evidenced by going to Dubai for the World Expo, creating a women's orchestra there. I mean, so, you know, he has the legacy of building talent. It's not just about him, right? So imagine if we had this kind of a place in India. What would it do, right? What would it do for India? Questions, thoughts, comments? Sure, please.
Yeah, I think it has to start somewhere, right? It has to start somewhere.
Yeah, please. Stand up and introduce yourself.
And me are friends from a long time. My name is Sunny Pokala for the interest. I live between New York and Chennai. Yeah, I have a question for you. The whole world comes to Chennai during December for the Margali Music Festival, right? Who's who? Indian diaspora, of course, but so many artists, so many performers come to India for that festival. Have you thought about creating to build on what you're saying? Because you have KM Music School, which is the mecca of music today. All the new music artists are coming from there. Have you thought about creating a city like that, which is a global congregation, where it could be an extension of the Margali festival, which is more Carnatic into more Western classic and
If you see
else.
the thing, if you see what I have,
Right.
I have foreign musicals, I have Indian, I have the futuristic vision to take, even if you take Bharatanatyam, it's a fantastic art, and to sustain the interest, I think we can expand it. What if we expand it 100x
Right.
and make it a musical,
Right.
with fully Bharatanatyam?
How can the Indiaspora help with that?
I think first of all to create a place. That's what we're trying to
Right.
get a place and build not just one or 4 or 5 different art centers all in one place, and build a whole infrastructure where there'll be an app where the whole world can see what's happening there. And it's so, if you go to Thailand, if you go to any place, there is something to see. What's there in Chennai?
Right.
What do you see artistically? Is there any musical or any play which runs 365 days for people to come and see, oh, this is what it's the local talent. And we
So
don't
this
have
will
a
be
place.
live screened across the globe?
Also, yeah,
Okay.
so many ideas.
Please, Mahesh.
Yeah.
Emma is from Chennai, you're from Chennai, and I belong to a state called Orissa. And it's a pretty, we do some cultural exchange between Cupertino and Bhubaneswar. You know, Orissa is a pretty, not that access like in Chennai, Mumbai, they have to the culture and art. How do we use your platform for artists and tribal people in Orissa?
Yeah.
To get access, because they're very talented people, you know?
I mean,
they can sing very well, and there are singers like Swayam Parhi, who is also one of the things we're trying to mentor from Cupertino. How can he get a platform in your platform?
So I think in our school, in our conservatory, we have students from Kashmir to Orissa, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh and Kerala to Himachal. I think it's a culmination of probably 200 students each year coming in from different parts of the world, but from India. And they come from Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, and all those places. So the idea is to kickstart in one place and set, like a McDonald's, set one place. And then we can, we have to set one place. We can't, and then once we establish it, we can replicate all this stuff. But I think it's time for India to do that stuff. So we all go take a flight to New York to watch Broadway. I feel the reverse should happen.
Absolutely. And with MR there,
absolutely.
I'm sure it can happen.
Ashwin, go ahead. Mahesh, sorry, back. George, hang on. We'll come back to you, George.
Thank you, MR. Rahman, like famous MR, like Chennai, 2 icons, Ilayaraja and you. Like you said, Ellam Pugalam Iravanike when you got Oscar. Ilayaraja song was Isai Padaipadale Nanum Iraivane, contrasting theories, but I believe in both. My question is, your conservative is phenomenal. So living in Washington, D.C. for 22 years, the marketing engine in the Western world is phenomenal. The whole ecosystem does that marketing. Why is you and your associated people talking about it? Why is not the entire ecosystem talking about it? How to build the marketing engine here so that they see the full effect of it?
Yeah, you see, I'm a very active composer. I'm not retired yet. So my sister is dealing with that stuff, and I'm a mentor, and then I envision all the stuff, and I come out. So this is exactly what I was talking. But it's a boutique place. I think it's better sometimes to perfect one place and take time to expand. And it's very easy to expand, very easy to copy paste things. But because we're dealing with lives, we're dealing with mental illness, we're dealing with so many failures and success and everything. And music is still not a recognized, art is not still a recognized industry in India, unfortunately. So we are dealing with so many different things, and here, that's one of the reasons why we need to elevate that. And I want people to say, oh, my daughter is playing Sita, my daughter is playing Kannagi, my daughter is playing, Mumtaz, whatever. And when that comes to that level, well, I've seen Western people talking about, my son is studying at Juilliard, my daughter played at Carnegie Hall. We don't have that yet. So we have to create that, and that's what we're doing now.
Anything we can help, happy to, sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, thank you.
Question here.
Yeah. Good evening. So my question is that there are more than 1 million schools in India, and school music teachers are the first teachers. What is your view on the scale at which they train, and do you have anything in mind to empower these school teachers, because they are going to be the catalyst for empowering so much hidden talent in the country?
I think bit by bit, we're going to work with the government of Tamil Nadu to do something special. We're going to announce that very soon regarding arts and choral stuff. And first is to perfect. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And that one good quality person can change the way people listen to music. And that's what we are. And also giving them wings so that they're not just a singer or a. My vision was, I was looking at all the sad story of the musicians. They learn something and then they become drunkards and they're on the road. So my thing was never, when they come to my school, they should never have failure in their life. So I wanted them to have the skills of technology, about musicianship, about philosophy, about life, about how to deal with, about healing. And this is what I think they came for. And even though it's boutique and even though it's small, but its impact is growing day by day, and I'm very proud of it.
Suril?
Pleasure meeting you and hearing about your stories and your experience. My question is slightly different. We are seeing this emergence of AI technology being used for composing music, and we pretty much can just at a click of a button make songs now. And at the same time, the cost of productions are going down, but there are so many artists who are just doing it out of their free time or any stuff like that. And some of them become instant successes, and some of them just keep on going viral. So how do you see this new age, where music is professionally is one part, but if you have to take it up as a career and you are competing with AI bots and AI robotics, how do you think that will play out?
I think if you look at it, to make it very simple answer, we were going in bullock carts first, and then there were cycles, and then there was motor cars, and then now flights and rockets. And so it's just a tool. And the way we use it is going to depend on humanity. And then there were outlets where just radio and live performance before. Then there were records and CDs and internet, and now TikTok and Instagram and Reels and influencers, many things sprouting out. So the demand for more creative people is, there were monopoly before, there were just 5 composers, 6 composers. Now there are probably 1 million composers out there, 1 million editors there, putting out stuff, and they're mashing up things and they're doing interesting things. So they find their own thing, their own spot, and that's how the world is always. What works today might not work tomorrow, and tomorrow might find its own means and different techniques to deal with things.
Yeah, one thing to add, there's no substitute for live performance is what you're trying to achieve. You were in Coimbatore,
absolutely.
you had 30,000 people. In Chennai, you have 50,000 people.
No, yeah, that's another thing I want to say.
Yeah.
See, I never performed in Chennai because, in India mostly, I never performed because infrastructure. I was worried about bathrooms and safety and, budgets and everything. My first performance was in Malaysia, then Dubai, then US, and Canada. I was procrastinated quite a lot of time. And now, when we thought only 15,000 people are going to come, 55,000 people have bought tickets. 55,000 people have bought tickets. We need so many toilets. We need parking. We need clutter-free traffic control. We need safety. Rain came and we canceled the concert. That's what happened. So, according to what the necessity of the youth, of what's happening, the people, we need to expand the infrastructure. We need to rise up. But we have to find out. The only way to find out is to do it. Yeah.
George?
You actually answered my questions last because I managed design museums, and this cultural extension was attempted once in Haryana and was attempted twice in Bombay. So what Bombay was about, I would say, 13 years ago, and Haryana was about 20 years ago. And because I work in the realm of museums, and museums have been gravitating towards intangible culture, music, there is a natural extension where these two things can marry. Do you have any thoughts about how we can blend in culture and music, and the future of music and future of culture?
So you answered the question. Hey, Ricky. Rest of the stuff he'll answer. He knows a lot.
I wanted to ask about any plans in the future for world music, for fusion music, and with global collaborators, not just in English, but in other languages as well.
That's what I've been doing all my life.
Yes, of course. But in the school.
Yeah, of course. I think if you look at the Firdaus Orchestra, what we created for the Dubai Expo City, it's all women, Arab and European and American kind of a orchestra, which is very unique, all just women. And they have been used by Beyonce and Andrea Bocelli and all these people. And Coldplay, Chris Martin came and recorded in the studio. We created a special studio. And all that happened just in 1 year, where I then heard horror stories of how people were telling that it's going to fall apart. Wait, now next one more month. Then the expo went off, but the studio stayed. So I think it's the intention, first of all. It's the intention of how you do it. Yeah.
Sorry, question there.
So thank you, sir. I'm Sumit Agarwal. I just wanted to say that India thrives on its soft power, and I think music and culture, what you bring, is just been amazing over the last quarter of a century. Is about soft power. So how do we? If I look at the next 23 years, which is India going to 100, I think that's where you'll really make a difference. Is India's soft power, which you brought in a very big way out. How do we capitalize on it, and what can we do are the thoughts that run in my mind.
No, actually being in the West, you all know this, I think. It's a taste difference. It's what is convenient, like food. Music is also something like that. But certain things create an impact. What we think is great is not great for the world. What we think is a great philosophy is not great for the world, because they've seen it all. And the idea, there's a sense of colonialism, this colonial mindset, there's a geopolitical mindset. There are so many different psychological stuff we're dealing with for the music to really transcend. The way they look at India is changing now. Again, today's testament for that. And I feel in music, we probably have a 90% more to excavate. But it's all depends on the way we present the music. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. The moment we have a sense of pride and we do it in style and not cringy, it's going to be great. Yeah.
Where's the mic?
Here, right here, MR.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here, sir, on your left.
Ah, okay. On my left. Okay.
Thank you so
Back
much.
there. Okay.
I
Vivek.
have a couple of suggestions, as you asked. First of all, MR, thank you. This brainstorming is going to bring a lot of the answers to the question AR has posed. I would like to invite you to Denver, Colorado. Denver is sister cities with Chennai. I'm the chairperson, so an invitation from Denver Mayor to you to come to Denver.
Sure, thank you.
Second thing I would like to see is, it's my dream to see you at our baseball games. We would love to see you perform there. So maybe, MR, that's what we need to work on. Denver Center of the Performing Arts is a phenomenal place where we would love to see you perform.
Sure.
And so those are a couple of things, suggestions, and we're happy to work with MR and you as well and brainstorm on that. But Sister Cities is a very good way, because we have Sister Cities International, which is not just for United States, but across the globe. So
Great.
that may be a platform you may want to utilize. Thank you.
Okay, to extend my answer on the last thing, what Ricky Cage has done, he's from Bangalore, and he's been winning Grammys every year.
Yeah.
How's that?
I won one too. He put me as associate
Exactly.
producer.
How is that possible? Because I think, see, some people tell me like, hey, your Roja should have won, your Bombay should have won, your Lagan should have won. We never even entered the competition. How will it win? So I think he had to be smart enough to do things like what he did. And he's done the music, he knows where to keep it and whom to collaborate and how to keep that whole vibe going. And I think he's an idol now. So people have to, you have to teach the people how to win Grammys.
Yeah. Yeah. Go, Ricky. Sorry, where's
Here,
the
here,
mic?
here,
Oh,
on your left.
On my left. Oh, sorry, Vivek. Go ahead, Vivek.
Sir, on your left, sir. First, I had a comment for Amin. There's a group called Diaspora Next. We're a young group of eclectic people. We don't jam music, but we are all smart, brainy people. So you're always welcome to join our Diaspora Next community, right? So then to you, sir.
Sure, thank you so much.
Yeah.
He's too old. He only mixes older people, like 60 people, 60 plus, 50 plus. Okay.
So
I like younger people. I'll come there.
Devame Vanakkam. Welcome to Indiaspora, right? So we're a group of high achievers, highly ambitious people in this room. Something that I found very common between us and you is every time you deliver a hit, there's always an insane amount of pressure to deliver an even bigger hit next time. How do you manage that, sir? How do you cope up with that pressure?
My thing is always validation. The validation should be my own mind. If I'm looking for other validation, it's a trap. So if I know where I stand, I might win at least 60%. But I'm always thinking about other people, or what are they going to think about it? It's never taken a chance. It's intended, everything. And sometimes other elements also are involved in the success of the film, the director, how it's picturized. So there's so many other elements involved in that stuff. Yeah.
Sorry, Goldie?
Great, salam alaikum. Great to see you again. Well, come to Canada, by the way. You mentioned it once. We'd love to have you. Today's a great day for India. It's a unifying day. But around the world, we're seeing a lot of polarization. We're seeing a hardening of sort of left and right and a hollowing out of the middle, if you will. And I'm wondering how you see what you do, music, culture, arts, as an enabler for bringing people together and in terms of social cohesion and bringing us back to what was as opposed to where we find ourselves today.
What I think is the right way is not fighting what's happening, but progressing. Progress or giving back to the society is always welcome by every community, by every race, and people respect that. I think like the famous quote of the Prophet, wipe the bad with the good. Simple. And when you do good things, you build schools and you build hospitals, you build things for the humanity, nobody's going to come and touch you. I think that's the best.
So AR, my wife is from Chennai. She's a Dandai Rupani.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, it was a victory. I married up. Your ambition is great, but I don't think it's large enough. And I'll not make it unachievable. But the thing about artists and what you have learned and what you've done is to build cohorts, is to build support systems. I think you need to think about creating a city for this. So just piggybacking on something else. I mean, a city for the arts outside of Chennai, where people can be resident and every art form can live, where what you do and who you bring there builds on itself.
Correct.
So it creates its own momentum. So, I mean, let's just go and get 3,000 acres and, you know.
I'm in.
And let's go do this.
Let's do it now.
And it becomes a destination.
Come here, I'm your partner now.
Seri, Pandla. Okay, done. But it is essential, Ilya, because without the cohort.
Yeah. But it has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere, and it has to. People have to see the proof of the pudding first, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. And this is how the world can improve. I think arts is the best, healing power. It's got healing power. It engages people, and today people are caught between sleeping on the bed, watching Netflix, and having mental problems.
Correct.
So they come and act, when they come and dance, and they contribute, half the problems is gone.
Right, but the reason why places like Madras Music Academy become stultified, I'm using a very nice word, is because they sink of their own weight and they don't have artists managing and running it. I think you can create an artist city that is run by artists, that is eco-friendly, that suits their growth and their passion. And I think that's what we should do together.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the city of Madras.
Emma, to the back right here.
Ooh, somebody back right. Oh, sorry, Nitin. Sorry, go ahead, and then Shweta.
Yeah. AR, good to see you again. I have a question for Amin.
Yes.
We've seen the vision of what you want to bring to life. What is it going to take to make it happen?
It's going to take everything.
Well, tell us what, right? We are here to support. So tell us what is it going to take and how we can kickstart that vision and bring it to life.
I think since culture is part of India, everyone should collaborate and try making this vision possible.
Okay, he's nervous. Let me tell what. So what's he doing is he's been coordinating and getting. We are trying to get some space from governments, and he's been amazing in that. And he's a bridge between my busy schedules. I can just deal with this, and he will go and deal with it. If he calls up, any IAS officer picks up the phone, any minister picks up the phone. So I said, yes, you're the right buddy. But he's nervous today. So you want to talk more? Yeah. Okay, listen. Speak.
What's he going to take?
But he won't stop after he starts. Okay. Yeah, he's singing now. Yeah. He's got a 42 million hit already called When You Criticize Me, and you can... Yeah, criticize me. Sing about me. No, I think one more meeting, then he won't stop.
I have a question about your institute. I run a company where we help the youth find their dream jobs, and many of them have dream jobs like music. How do you inspire the parents to support their child's dreams at your institute? Because I think that's one of the obstacles we face at my venture, Talarang.
I think there's at least the previous generation has this stigma about arts. If a son or daughter says, I'm doing music, yeah, do music, but finish doctor. Be an engineer first, as if that's going to save them. I think there's so much of pressure. I think what I realized is, at least when the COVID came in, you realize that life is short, and happiness and love is the main thing, actually, in dealing with families, especially. If you're just going to force your kids to do something which they don't like, they're going to commit suicide sometimes. I've seen examples of that. There was a I was in the launch of Dubai once, and there was 2 doctors who came in. One was the mother, one was the daughter. And they said, we are coming from the cremation of my brother who wanted to be a musician. He was a fan. But my folks wanted him to be a doctor, so he committed suicide. And this says it all.
Yeah.
Why do you want to torture your kids mentally and put them into this thing? Because I always feel like, we all believe in God. There may be different ideology, but it's the same creator. And we feel like the barakah, the prosperity, or the money, or whatever comes from, the food comes from that person. And no questions. It'll come. And yeah.
Okay, just time for a couple more questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Raman Sam, I'm Amit Mehta. I've come from Brisbane. The taxi driver who took me to the airport was Somali, and he was singing Hindi songs. In London, the taxi driver who took me was a Nigerian, and he was singing Hindi songs. Now, 6 billion of the people out of the 8 on this planet are from Global South. And we are all here from rich countries. So if we really want to make a difference and make an impact, because just now you said you're in the business of happiness.
Yeah.
And we've got trouble everywhere. So how do we reach and make people happy? Because that's really what it's all about.
We put our own walls in our minds.
Yeah, so, this Chennai Institute is a wonderful idea, but how we make this, in Africa and places like this, that's what I would like to hear.
I think one by one. Once we set an example, I think the time has come for this. I think the time, glorious. And I went to Netaji's, the musical, and I felt like parts of it looked even better than Broadway. And I was so proud of that stuff. And imagine the possibilities in each state having its own culture, and people traveling from each state to state, when they come from the world. I'm going to Tamil Nadu, I'm going to Kerala, I'm going to Orissa, I'm going to Kolkata.
It's a presentation,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I've been learning for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why even Slumdog Millionaire, the soundtrack was created in a way where I felt like it can't be Indian, but it can't be Western. It has to be hybrid. It has to be in a way where what they can't do is what we should do. And at the same, And that's what is nice about each culture. And it's so unique. You don't have to, copy one culture. Every culture has its own thing. It just needs to be presented in their own way. Yeah.
All right. Great to see you again. I had the pleasure of meeting you in Dubai. Speaking of Slumdog Millionaire, a great segue. Jai Ho gets me actually moving on a track and gets me moving, and is exhilarating and inspirational and creative. What's your muse? What's your inspiration? What gets you moving?
I think my inspiration is my students now. Like when I see them come to the school, play, they inspire me to work harder. As a principal of the conservatory, I feel like if I shine, it's going to reflect in their talent, and they're going to feel. And we take people from selected people who intern with me, and it's so nice to see younger people, and that actually drives me. Actually, that's what drives me, to work harder. And one student coming, how did you do that, sir? And that's the question which triggers me to do even more. Yeah.
Great. I think we have time for 1 or 2 more questions. So we haven't had enough questions from women, so we have to accommodate them.
I'll be loud enough, I'm sure. Yeah, a very valid question from a mother who's dealt with the problem very genuine. He was from Shiv Nada. I don't know what to use. Fortunately, unfortunately, he was into Western vocals. You have to believe me, all here, everybody's asking you about very big questions about where the country would be taken and all that. What I believe is that these youngsters, who are immense talent we have here. And you have to believe me, the school was doing a tremendous job by finding out counselors for all the people who are into science stream, commerce stream, and everything. My son, obviously school did a brilliant job. I mean, he was with Shiv Nada. We could not get even a single counselor, and please mark my words, who could guide him on how to take his career forward. COVID was a big blessing for me as a mother because I thought being in Western vocals, there's no future for him here. I, did my own research and all. Now he's studying in, Canada in an independent college for music. What I'm saying is, I'm sure 100 years for India and all we can talk. But what are we doing here? Something as basic as this, where we do not have a basic consultancy or an advice for a student who wants to do so much. And I'm telling you not as a mother, but I'm saying a lot of kids do grapple with that situation.
Yeah, I think when you go to, I took my kids actually, even though I have a conservatory, I took them for a summer course to Berkeley. So I asked my son, what do you think of the quality of, he said, it's the same thing, but we have cheese factory here, he said. So you have to understand that kids talk among themselves, they'll find solutions. And that's what about, people. And, we talk to each other, we find a solution. Better than the counselor, better what we pay for. And I think a good school has got amazing kids and amazing teachers who we don't even have to address this. The energies will come in and lead people to the right things, I feel. Of course, what you're saying is valid. I think I'm going to consider that. Okay, we'll do that. I'll be the counselor.
Okay, last question.
Sorry, I don't have a question. I just have a comment. I recently had a septoplasty done, and he was an American surgeon, and I was going to surgery, and he asked me what music I want to be played, and before I could respond, he said, well, how about Jai-Ho? So Jai-Ho to you. So I just wanted to comment on that. I mean, I am glad I came here. I'm from Washington, D.C. area. No offense to MR, this is great. But I am so thrilled I came just because you're here. More than
actually, Jai-Ho to ISRO today.
And my son, who is now 21, probably as old as your son, I was just FaceTiming him. And when he was 4.5, he took his big old flag and just sang on Durga Temple, who is the largest temple in Northern Virginia area, and did a dance for Jai-Ho. I think he was 6.5 or 8. I'm sorry, I don't remember his age at that time. But that was the first dance he did, and he still remembers that. He's 21
Great,
now.
awesome.
So as soon as I texted, he said Jai-Ho. So thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
On that note, AR, you have any closing comments? Because we have a dance program after this.
Okay.
You should see it for some time, and then
Sure, absolutely.
we can go from there.
I think it's just, you're there. If anybody feels anything, they'll come to you.
Yeah. Please
And
see me.
Common.
But we'll be starting the dance show, and then we'll go from
I'll move out.
AR,
you want to dance?
Thank you. Yeah. Come on. Come on, man. Anyway,
say
thank
thanks?
you to AR. And
Thank you,
Amin.
everyone.
Thank you.